All right, ladies and gents, welcome to the wrap up. This is kind of a totals for 2022, as well as kind of the totals of my 3 years, as I'm not very good at keeping everything separate per year. So, yeah, we'll go through a few totals from this year and then we'll switch to a slideshow. So, you guys can just enjoy the treasures and no talking. On to the wrap up. All right, just before we get to the goodies that we did get to keep, let's go through the list of everything given away or given back this year on the channel. So here's the list: 7 gold rings, 8 silver rings, 2 cell phones. One of those cell phones was collected by the police at the front door. The guy reported it stolen. He got drunk, dropped it in the water, reported it stolen. Then I found it in the water and dried it out, turned it back on, and then the police searched it to the farm. So they came up, and I actually noticed that on the local buy and sell that that guy was selling that phone, and his story on his buy and sell ad was it was stolen and then returned, stolen and then recovered, and then he's selling it because he had already replaced it. But his ad said nothing about the fact that it was in the water for 48 hours, so is what it is. But anyway, we returned it. We did the right thing. We also returned a wallet and 1 container containing cash and drugs delivered to the police. All right, one of the favorite parts for every metal detector is finding coins. So this pile is all either silver coins, import coins, tokens, that kind of stuff. That's 3 years there. And I pulled out a couple of my favorites. That's my oldest one there. That is an American 1895 seated silver dime. And this one's super cool. This is a Canadian nickel, but it is a 1939 Canadian nickel that has been shot. Nice park find. So that is the coins, the tokens, and the import coins. All right, we can't have a year-end wrap-up without the clad total for the year. So there it is, all there. I do not have the luxury of Coinstar where I live, so it got rolled. It's a pain in the butt, but it gets her done. And you can hide some real dirty ones in there too. The bank doesn't really care. So the grand total for the year is, that's not written very good, I'll just tell you, $963.25, which is kind of my average. First year was much higher than that. I think it was around 12 or 1300, and last year was a little lower for some reason, around 750 I think. So we're right in between on this one. Nothing wrong with that. $1,000 for the year. All right, can't have a wrap-up video without talking about the bling. Sometimes it can be a little annoying, but it's always fun to pull something out and see if it's the real deal or just some bling. But I have no problem. I'll dig the bling all day long. Always makes the hobby a little more enjoyable. Mud Bunny's holding down that pile. So that is a 3-year pile. That is a massive pile. That is my total bling for 3 years. You got everything in there. Big old cross. Keychains, all kinds of fun stuff like that. That one's cool. It says, "Drive safe, handsome. I need you here with me." You name it, it's in there. Let's move on. All right, on to the silver. So this is not including silver rings. They are in another container, but look at all those. These chains are super popular where I live, these silver chains. And most of them I find in the water. A couple Pandora bracelets there on the end. Some bangles. This thing here is a monster. That's a 2-ounce silver bracelet. And some odds and sods over here, earrings, stuff like that. And I chose these two as my favorites here. This one was a water find at one of the oldest water spots that I hunt. And that is a very old money clip from Mexico, and it is pure silver. Super cool. That's as clean as I could get it. It's so old. But I really like that old look to it. And this one was from this year. I think this is one of the cooler finds from this year. This is the little money box with a dollar bill folded up in there, super tiny. Super cool. So I'm going to put all of this in a container and we'll weigh it up and see what the silver haul is for 3 years. All right, there it is. I'm never going to get those chains apart. I realize that. Excuse me. But we did get a final total of 1.91 pounds. Almost 2 pounds in there. I know there's a few little things that aren't silver in there too, but all right, just before we get to the rings, which is most people's favorite part, we've got all the non-ring gold. So we got some cool stuff in here. We get the big chain. That is my biggest gold find. 26 grams, 18K. And we got another really big one here, this bracelet, absolutely gorgeous. It is also 18K. I'll give you guys a good picture of this. 17 grams. 17 grams, 18K. So we will weigh this all up. Again, this is non-gold, or sorry, not rings. Scrap gold, if you will, but you'd have to be a savage to scrap that. I need a transfer thing here. So put that on. This is zeroed out. And it's on grams. 111 grams. That is slightly over 3.5 ounces, troy ounces, I believe. Pretty awesome for 3 years, ounce a year, ounce and a bit per year. Right on. Let's get to the rings. All right, moving on to the favorite part for me is the rings. Most metal detectors love digging them. Obviously, they ring up great because of their shape. So this is the blingers. This is the 3-year total for blingers. Mud Bunny's buried back there. I don't know how many's there. I didn't count them. Probably over 300, I'm sure. Awesome. Gotta love them. They're always a little bit of a letdown when you get when you're hoping for real stuff, but it's part of metal detecting, keeps us coming back, I think. Let's move on to the rings. All right, on to the silver rings. So this is obviously not including what I've given away on the channel and given back to people, which is quite a few rings, I would say. So there's 100 and I think 12 here. There's a whole bunch of small ones jammed in those 2 top ones there. Outgrew my container. Awesome. So yeah, here's all the silver, 112 silver rings. I did not get a weight on it. There's lots of stones and stuff, but I will mention a couple of cool ones. This is one of my favorites. Little silver band with actual gold nuggets plugged in there. And I did test those nuggets. They are pure. Very cool ring. And I think this is one worth mentioning. This is the Cabo ring. This thing was completely black when I found it. I think it's the oldest silver in the bunch. Really nice ring. Los Cabos. And I think this one here is worth mentioning too. This is the black diamond ring with silver. So that is the silver rings, 112 I think, all total. All right, so here we have 2 categories of rings. We have the nice blingers, if you will. Those are stainless steel or gold plated, that kind of thing. The nicer ones, there's a few nice ones in here. This one was a heartbreaker. Monster fishing game. Marked 18K. It's just plated. Here is, actually we have 2. We have, that's a Cartier ripoff of the Lover's Ring. Total Fugazi on that one because it says Cartier. This is kind of another Cartier knockoff, but it's a pretty obvious imposter. Stainless steel. On to the gold. Here we go. Definitely my favorite category of finding gold rings is the best. The first one always gets a mention. That is my very first gold, found on my 2nd day detecting on a beach with the Garrett Ace 400. Excuse me. And I believe I was in about a foot of water too, because the coil is waterproof on the Ace, but not the controls. Super cool. That's the straw that broke the camel's back, man. I was so excited. And honestly, I'm still just as excited to find pulling gold rings out of the ground. So I will give you guys all nice close-up pictures of these.